Welcome to the Walking Down Main Street podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Coasters and Castles Travel. Coasters and Castles Travel has travel advisors in more than 35 states. We call our travel advisors vacation specialists. Our advisors can have specialties from theme park travel, ocean and river cruises, and all-inclusive resort travel. Our advisors travel frequently to better get to know the destinations our guests would like to travel to and regularly keep up with destination training. Our advisors do not charge a planning fee, so it costs our clients no more to book with us than it would to book direct with the supplier. For more information, go to www.travelcnc.com. That's TRAVELCNC.com. For a no-cost, no-obligation quote. We can also be reached by phone at 844-422-8785. Let me introduce everyone. I am Lynn McElhaney, co-owner of Coasters and Castles Travel. We also have April Botta, co-owner of Coasters and Castles Travel.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be talking travel with you. And then we are also joined by Whitney Maddox. She is a senior vacation specialist with Coasters and Castles Travel.
Hello, friends.
We will be bringing you an episode each week. We will have topics related to Disney destinations, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, cruising, and fun and sun vacations. We love travel and want to share our experiences with you. Episode number 8. Today we are welcoming 2 more guests. We have a returning guest of Amy Flanagan. Again, she's a senior vacation specialist with Coasters and Castles Travel.
Hi, everyone. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And we are also welcoming for the first time Robin Wright. She's a vacation specialist with Coasters and Castles Travel.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you. We're so glad to have you ladies tonight. And tonight we're going to be talking about the value resorts at Walt Disney World. And I know this is a favorite of Robin's.
Yes.
So we're definitely going to get opinions from both Robin and Amy. But we might do it a little bit differently because they are, they're both vacation specialists and they both have different ideas on things. So we're going to ask a little bit, maybe we'll alternate between you on a description of each of them. And then maybe we'll ask some favorites that you guys have for that. So let's go ahead and start with Robin. We'll start with a favorite for Robin. Robin, what is your favorite value resort at Walt Disney?
My favorite is ALLSTAR Sports.
Okay.
I've stayed there multiple times. I don't really know why it's my favorite. It's not the first resort I've ever stayed at. It's probably the most common that I choose. It's the most common that I send my clients to. It's just, I don't know. It's my favorite. It's cozy. It's got a lot of amenities. It's just got a Disney feel to it. When you get there, you know you're in the Disney bubble. You know that everything is Disney.
Okay. And how would you describe that resort to people?
If you like sports any at all, you're going to find something there. My favorite section is the football section. I don't even have a kid that's played football, but when you walk outside and there's kids playing football, there's parents. I mean, kids are running around. It's just a fun atmosphere. They have a turf field, so there's always, no matter what time of day or night it is, there's always kids out there playing. I mean, my mom sat out there and knitted while she watched all the kids play one afternoon.
That's cool.
The pools, the baseball section has a home run pool that is just amazing. I mean, it is super cute. The theme there everywhere is so cute. And that's every client I've had, whether they have kids or, I've seen just adults there and they're like, the theming is so great. And you just feel like you're a kid again.
Mm-hmm. And so speaking of football, is football your favorite sport?
No, actually basketball is my favorite. But there's just something about that turf field. I mean, there's always kids out there playing. There's adults out there playing. It's just my favorite section.
Oh, cool. And Amy, what's your favorite value resort?
It's kind of a tie for me between Pop Century. I've stayed there many, many times. I love the large 2-3 story icons that are there, whether would be from the 101 Dalmatians. I love on the ends of the buildings, the Rubik's Cube or the cell phone or the bowling pin, all the different decades that are represented there. But I'm also a big Art of Animation fan because I absolutely love the theming there and the family suites. So it's kind of a toss-up.
Which one would you like to describe?
I will describe Pop, since I have stayed there so many times. And I know that Robin also has, we both have stayed together at Art of Animation, so we both can talk about that. But Pop Century, so like I said, they have the different decades and in the different areas. I love the food court there. It's huge. Lots of choices. I like that in general about the food courts at the value resorts are much larger than the food courts at the moderate resorts. So there tends to be more choices. It also appeals to my rather childlike palate. So, I'm not very sophisticated when it comes to fine cuisine. So it appeals. They also have a really big gift shop there. I love that Pop Century has a single bus stop and the single building that, no matter where you are, you're not going to be too far away from the building to go, refill your mug or pop over there to grab a dessert or something like that. I like the feel of it, and I tend to like to stay in the preferred area because it is one of the larger ones. So if you are standard, you're farther away. Although now with the onset of the Skyliner, you could be closer to the Skyliner if you're in the standard area. So, and it just took by one of my favorite values and turned it into even more of a favorite with Skyliner now.
Great. So I do want to ask our other commentators, our other hosts. I'll start with Whitney. Whitney, give us your review of those two resorts.
So I have never stayed at ALLSTAR Sports. That's actually the only value I have not stayed at. I used to stay at ALLSTAR Movies a lot and music when I was younger with my sisters because there was 4 of us. So my parents would get 2 connecting rooms a lot. But with 4 girls and none of us were like sports people, we never stayed at sports. Although I have to say Robin kind of has sold me on checking it out because her review of it is pretty positive. And I'm not really that sportsy of a person either. So I don't know. It's always been lower on my totem pole. So I've never stayed there, but I should probably check that out. Pop, I love Pop. We all know, because I've said before, I'm very much a deluxe person. My go-to for value would definitely be Pop Century. I like, especially with the Skyliner. I stayed there last October when it first opened, and that was amazing to be right there and so close to Epcot and Hollywood Studios on that Skyliner. So I like the renovated rooms. I wasn't a huge fan before they were renovated. Now that there's 2 queen beds, that's something I can get behind. Because when we stayed there and it was 2 doubles, it was just so tight in there. I mean, my husband's, over 6 foot tall, so he was like not happy with having to sleep sideways on the bed. But we like the 2 queens. That was a big game changer for us. So
okay. I know I'm the contrarian in the room here, but for me, I just miss the carpet in the rooms. I know a lot of people don't like it, but every time they put down flooring that has textures, it's like walking on glass. So not my thing. But April, what are your reviews of those 2 resorts?
So sports was a resort that actually surprised me. Like Whitney, I am not a sports person. I don't like sports. I have no use for it, and I try to avoid it at all costs. So I was never attracted to staying at the resort, but we did stay there once, and I was pleasantly surprised that I liked it. There is sports themes, but it's not like really like beating you over the head with it. Nice. Like the one of the preferred section is a surfing section, which I love water. So I'm totally good with that. And the food court is great, which works perfect for my family. Like Amy, we're picky eaters. And so food courts are a perfect place for us to be at. And even if we aren't staying at any of the ALLSTAR resorts, generally every Disney trip, we end up over there at least once eating at the food court. So it's perfect. And then
I agree,
Art of
April.
Animation. Oh, I'm sorry. What was that, Whitney?
That was me.
Oh, Robin.
I I definitely agree with the food court at Sports. It is one of my all-time favorites. They have got a steak and mashed potatoes that is out of this world.
It's nice because you can get like a real meal. It's not like it has to be just chicken fingers and French fries, although they have it. You can get real food too. And that's
I feel like they
push
have
for us.
a good variety.
Absolutely.
Do you happen to remember if they have jasmine rice?
No clue.
Okay.
I don't even know what
we'll
that is.
We'll have to be on the search of that because April's daughter is really into jasmine rice right now.
Jasmine rice is so good. That's like the best kind of rice besides fried rice. I can get behind that statement.
And then, definitely Art of Animation is one of my favorite resorts. I feel that that's a resort that if you want to be immersed in Disney, that's where you need to go. Because as soon as you walk into the lobby, I love the smell of the lobby, but you are just surrounded by Disney characters. So I love it. And Pop Century has turned me around. That was our first Disney resort that we stayed at. I wasn't impressed. This was, 10, 12 years ago, whatever it's been now. So since then, we've stayed many times, and I absolutely love the Skyliner. So we've been staying a lot of times at Pop, and it's been very pleasant. I like the renovations. I like having the elevated beds because especially if you have 4 people in the room, you can get your stuff under a bed and there's still room to move. And we're good with the Murphy bed and all the new shelving and nooks and crannies to put things. Really like the renovation. So overall, I definitely like the resorts, and we stay in values pretty often.
So for me, I'm going to be the contrarian again. I do not like Pop at all. It is too noisy. I don't even know how to say it, but the people in the room next to you, they will put that little bar across the door at midnight and go in and out their room, slamming their door at midnight, and then you can hear them talking in the room next to you. I need thicker walls. Not, just so I can have a night's sleep, because I don't sleep well. Everyone knows that. So I don't want to be woken up from when I do finally fall asleep to have that. I was there before it was the new remodel, so I have not experienced the new beds there. But I do know that the bed itself the mattresses were awful. So that was really challenging for us. I stayed ALLSTAR a while ago, the ALLSTAR Sports. And I did like it at the time. And the funny thing is when we did stay at Pop, they didn't have coffee makers. And my husband was really frustrated because he likes his coffee in the morning and he had to go all the way up to the main hall to get coffee. But when I had stayed, the last time I stayed in the ALLSTARs was in 2009. They did have coffee makers then. So I don't know what happened, where they went, but we did, have them then. And so I actually enjoyed the ALLSTARs back then. So I did say ALLSTAR Sports. We'll talk about the other two in a moment as well. So, I think that as with every resort, there's a person that it's great for, and there's a person that it's not great for. And I think just understanding, which one is which is really what our job is as travel advisors. Moving on, we're going to go on to one of the other ALLSTARs now. We'll go to ALLSTAR Music. Amy, have you stayed at ALLSTAR Music?
I have. I've stayed a couple of times for short stays in the standard rooms at ALLSTAR Music. I haven't been in any of the refurbished rooms yet. They've gotten about half of the standard rooms refurbished. And I am looking forward to going and staying at a refurbished family suite, because the refurbishments at the family suite at ALLSTAR Music are amazing. They have the largest fridge of any of the non-villa ones. It's an apartment size fridge, so it makes it considerably bigger than the one that they have in the family suite at Art of Animation. And
does it have like a freezer?
Yes. Yep.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Yep. It has a freezer. And then also I like the bedding situation. So the only about half of them have been refurbished. The previous one was more individual sleeping spaces than any of the family suite options, but they had a sleeper ottoman and a sleeper twin chair, and they were not known for their comfort necessarily. So it did work out really well for people who had like maybe quite a few adults that were going and nobody really wanted to share. That was a nice option. But now there's fewer overall sleeping spaces, but they actually have, instead of a sofa bed, because I'm not a big fan of sofa beds, they have 2 of the Murphy beds. So they have 2 fold-down Murphy beds in addition to the queen bed that's in the bedroom. So it's sort of more comfortable sleeping spaces, maybe not as many numerical sleeping spaces, but so I'm excited. Yeah, it's a great option.
So maybe it's more comfortable than Art of Animation?
I think it may
Art of
be
Animation
because
has one Murphy
bed
bed and one sleeper sofa, and I know when we stayed there, April was she ended up moving the mattress from the Murphy bed over onto the sleep sofa because it was so uncomfortable.
Right, exactly. So now I think that the All-Star Music Family Suite, once they're finished with the refurbishments, will be a really great option for if you're wanting to have more of those comfortable sleeping spaces. Because I find the Murphy beds very comfortable. So I'm assuming that the new ones in All-Star Music will be great. So, and what I love about All-Star Music is that it has the combination of standard rooms and family suites in the same building.
Okay.
It's not a guarantee. Obviously, we always can put it in as a request, and Disney always reminds us to tell our clients that it's just a request, not a guarantee. Most of them do get met. I've noticed in the past, but if you have somebody who, let's say it's the grandparents and they want a standard room and the family with 3 or 4 kids wants to stay in the family suite, they have the opportunity to possibly be even in the same building and nearby one another. Whereas over at Art of Animation, you're off in the Little Mermaid area for the standard room. So I like that they're kind of intermingled. And also all of the family suites are in the preferred section. So if you stay at a family suite at All-Star Music, you're definitely closer to the main building and transportation and food.
And Robin, did you have anything you wanted to add to the All-Star Music talk?
Not really. The only thing I will say about all of the All-Star resorts is what I love about them the most is how everything is so kind of compact. You've got your lobby that has your check-in, you've got a gift shop, you've got your, snacks, your food. Everything is just kind of together. And that's what I like. Especially clients with smaller kids, it's so easy to be able to go to one place. And that's what all clients have said. It's so convenient because everything is right there. And that's definitely a plus for the values.
Okay.
So I had one other thing. Lynn, I was going to say one other thing about All-Star Music. One of the times that I stayed there, I had an experience with a bus situation that was kind of unique because the All-Stars has the 3 that are together, and occasionally there is some bus sharing, which sometimes can be seen as a negative thing. But in this particular situation, I was with my daughter and we walked out of Hollywood Studios at the end of the day after Fantasmic with everybody else. And we got to the bus stop for All-Star Music and, we were staying at All-Star Movies actually. And so we hopped on the All-Star Music bus because Movies had just left and we'd missed it. We hopped on Music and got to our room very quickly. So especially with All-Star Music being in the center between Movies and sports, if you're staying at Music, you can take any of the 3 buses that are available and have space and be at your room without too much of a walk because they are just right adjacent to one another. So it kind of triples your chances of getting a bus, which is a nice thing. Yeah.
And Robin, how about you do a review on All-Star Movies?
All-Star Movies, to me, anybody that's a Toy Story fan, that is definitely the place to go. You cannot get cuter decor than that. You feel like you're in Andy's room. And that's one thing that I think it's just so, when you say Disney, some of the resorts, you don't really know that you're at Disney. At the All-Stars, you know you're at Disney. You're going to see Mickey Mouse. You're going to see the characters. And that's where, I think a lot of people really do, especially for their first trip, if they say they want the Disney experience, to me, the values, that's what you're going to see. And so the movies, one of the things that I really liked is all of the resorts will show a nightly movie outside they've got a blow up screen, but the Movies has a little secluded area with a sitting area that's outside that is really, really nice, where they show a different movie every night. And that was a lot of fun.
Okay. And Whitney, how about your review of these 2 resorts?
I like them. I haven't stayed there with my kids because when we've stayed value, we've stayed at Pop or Art of Animation. But like I said, I grew up going to those 2 resorts in particular. this was a yearly trip for my family. And with 4 kids, it was easier to be in a suite at music or in 2 rooms connecting at either of them. So I have a lot of good memories growing up there. I'm excited to see them refurbished because they were in dire need of some updating. And, if I know that they're a lot like Pop with the updates, and I think that that's a great thing. They're a lot nicer with those upgrades. So, I like the values, but personally, I prefer to stay other places.
Yeah, we know. But I'm with you on that one.
That's just me. And I mean, when you have a bunch of kids too, it makes total sense to stay there, especially like Robin said, when they're looking for that Disney experience and they want the oversized statues and they really want it to be like in your face. You just can't go wrong with them. It's a great option for that. And I will say I do agree with it being loud there. My friend and I were at Pop last October and we had a preferred pool view. And it was just so stinking loud. Even like 7:00 in the morning, like the lifeguards were out there like blowing whistles. And I'm like, the pool's not even open. Why do I hear all these whistles? So I like the interior rooms better, but I like the values too. They're good options.
Okay. And so we're going to have April give us her view of the All-Star movies and the All-Star music.
So with All-Star movies, that tends to be our favorite All-Star resort because I really like the theming. We have stayed in many of the sections, be it Toy Story or Dalmatians or even the Mighty Ducks. And personally, I think it's the cutest themed area, so that's the one that we typically choose first. And we've been very happy with staying there. We've gotten great service. And like Robin mentioned, I like the convenience that you kind of have everything all in one spot. So it's easy to go up to the lobby, go to the gift shop, go to the food court. And one of the fun things about the food court at movies, which is a little unique, is they actually have a secret menu. You have to ask for it. It's not advertised anywhere. So you ask a cast member for the secret menu. They bring out this steel metal briefcase, like, the top secret briefcase, and they open it up and it actually has a Viewmaster viewer in it. And so you see this secret menu through the Viewmaster. And it's 3 very unique things. You can choose French fries with poutine, a hot dog, so a foot-long hot dog with mac and cheese on it, or you can get the most unique item, which is a cheeseburger that is cooked on a cinnamon roll with candied bacon. What? And so I'm not even joking. And I assume this is still there. We ordered it really not that long ago. So the hot dog with mac and cheese, I was excited about that. Honestly, we didn't like it. It wasn't great mac and cheese. It was kind of like, the liquidy cheese, cheap mac and cheese. And I don't like all beef hot dogs. So that one wasn't a win. We didn't try the French fries, so I'll admit that. The cinnamon roll cheeseburger was actually pretty good. It was so weird. They cut the cinnamon roll in half, so that's the bun. And you have the cheeseburger and the candied bacon on it. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Like, I would eat it and buy it just for the candied bacon because it was delicious. But the hamburger actually has kind of a simple enough taste that it works with the cinnamon roll because it's not really like a spicy hamburger to conflict. So as weird as it was and as apprehensive as we were to try it, we actually came away liking it. So I would order it again. But definitely, if you are going to stay at All-Star Movies, I highly encourage you to check out and do the secret menu because even the experience of them bringing out this case and you have to look at it through the Viewmaster and you order it that way, it's really kind of a fun, unique experience. So try it out and let us know what you think of those items. Which one of those are your favorites?
I have to say, knowing April, and I love her to death, she admits all the time she has the palate of a 7-year-old.
At
so
least.
For her to actually try this just floored me. Absolutely floored me.
Well, it's like I like each of those components, like a cinnamon roll. Can't really go wrong with it. Candied bacon. Again, it's amazing. It was so good. And it was a cheeseburger, which, the burger was an average burger. So it wasn't like fabulous, but it wasn't bad. Altogether, it was strange, but it worked.
How am I going to put ketchup on that? I have to have ketchup in my burgers.
I definitely didn't. I put ketchup on everything. Well, quite a bit. I did not put ketchup on that. No, you can't put ketchup on that. I cannot do ketchup with a cinnamon roll. I don't think I can do that. Or even the candied bacon. I don't think I could do ketchup with that either.
No.
So, yeah. All right. So we want to see comments of who gets to try this once everything starts opening again. Yeah. And hopefully that menu will still be a thing. And let's have a contest and see which one wins. Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I know our agent Sheila, she's, I think, either from Canada or because she lived so far, or grew up so far in Maine, that they have poutine all the time. So she would probably love that.
I haven't brought myself to trying. I probably would like it. I don't know. The cheese curds kind of seem like a weird thing.
Well, I like cottage cheese, so I assume I'd like cheese curds.
Yeah, I don't like cottage cheese.
But, I mean, you ate a burger on a cinnamon bun. I think you're okay with cheese-covered French fries.
Okay, so let's try another little one. And I'll just go around and ask everybody, of the values, what is your favorite pool? So Amy, I'll start with you.
Hands down, the Cozy Cone pool at Art of Animation, the Cars section.
Absolutely.
Okay. Really? Why?
I think it is like being in the middle of the movie. It is so well themed. I also like to have some shade, and you've got your cozy cones that you can sit in shade there. You know, it's like having a little mini cabana. It's just so well themed. It's incredible. And so I really enjoy that pool tremendously.
So Robin, is that your favorite as well?
It is. Yes, it is so cute. The theming, I mean, you feel like you're in Radiator Springs. And I will say we laughed last year when we were going on the cruise because I kept telling them, I can sleep anywhere. It doesn't matter. I can sleep anywhere. And finally I said, I can sleep on a pool noodle at the Cozy Cone. I was like, it's not a big deal. And I will say.
So that's where the bar is set for Robin. Yep.
Not a problem. But I will say, when we've stayed at Art of Animation, we have really enjoyed that pool. It is super cute. And the big blue pool is really cute at Art of Animation. It's got the Nemo theme, but it'll never beat the Cars theme for me.
Yeah, I never got to the pools at there. To be honest with you, of all the ALLSTAR, all the values, I've only been to one of the pools, and that was actually the one at ALLSTAR Music. It was the big grand piano pool, which I thought that was kind of cool. But I was disappointed that there was no hot tub. So I love myself a hot tub. Although right now, I mean, with the pandemic, there's probably not going to be hot tubs. So, you know.
See, okay. I would say the Art of Animation big blue pool is my favorite. I liked the Cozy Cone one, but so there's music that plays underneath the water at the big blue pool, which is cool. There's speakers under there, so if you go under, you can hear them. And I just like that there's a nice splash pad right there. That pool's a 0 entry, so when my kids were like younger, they were just kind of toddling into there, and you didn't have to worry about them like walking off the side into the deep end. And there's a really cool playground right there too. That it was nice that everything was just in one section. It kind of made it easy to keep them occupied and together.
I had heard that they took the music away underneath the water.
Oh no, that's horrible.
It wasn't there when we stayed 2 summers ago.
Why would they do that?
I don't know. That was a loss.
Okay, so we've got Amy has the Cozy Cone pool. Robin agrees with her on the Cozy Cone, but she also likes the big blue pool. Whitney likes the big blue pool. April, what's your favorite of the ALLSTAR, of the values?
I think the big blue pool would be my favorite. It's got the most immersive theming. So I do love that one.
Okay. And April, you had some questions you were going to ask.
So I think we wanted to explain a little bit more about Art of Animation because there's 2 room types that you can get. There's a standard room, and then there are family suites. And I think it's important to kind of understand what is the difference between the 2 because it definitely can cater to 2 different people. So, Amy, what are your thoughts on those?
So the standard rooms at Art of Animation they're Little Mermaid themed. And they have also gone through refurbishment which is great. They were ready for some refresh. The pool area and the rooms themselves, the theming is super cute. The kind of somewhat downside that I have found from clients and myself is that they are a bit of a distance from the main building. So they are a bit removed and off to themselves, although now the access to the Skyliner from some of the Little Mermaid rooms is not too bad. But then the family suites I absolutely love. It is such a great use of space, those family suites. It's amazing to have the 2 bathrooms. It's great to have the kitchenette with the slightly larger fridge than in the standard rooms. And having the privacy of the separate bedroom with its private bathroom is great. It's just really nice to have that extra space. Like I said, I find and I'm pretty picky about beds, but I find the pull-down Murphy bed at Art of Animation Family Suite to be great. I actually most recently stayed and shared that with another adult because I wanted to see if that was something that would be comfortable enough. It's not a queen bed, it's a full pull down, but it worked with us for 2 adults. So it could work if there's grandparents and parents, each one of them needing to do the Murphy bed, the other the bedroom. So, and the theming inside those family suites is amazing. That's what's great about Art of Animation is the theming inside the rooms themselves. That's the most theming you'll find anywhere in all of the property is in those rooms. And if you want to be in the Disney bubble, that's pretty cool.
Not really. The only thing I can say is, like Amy said, I mean, the theming is what's to me, that's my selling point. And every family that I've had, I've pretty much talked them into the Cars rooms just because I think the Cars area is amazing. I mean, you've got all the characters parked out there that you can take pictures with. I mean, and every family, most of them have had girls. And so I'm like, I promise your little girls will love it. And they've come back loving the whole resort and think that the Cars rooms are just amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
and the 2
I don't
bathrooms,
really feel like any of those are, I don't feel like they are, girl or boy. I feel like all of the themes there can do it.
And I know also the food court at Art of Animation is one that people will do, like what mentioned earlier, even if you're not staying there, going and eating at the Art of Animation food court. The Landscape of Flavors has a lot of really fun options and a lot of good choices. So, and you can go there even when you're not staying there and walk around and look at the different areas and feel like you've gone to mini Cars Land, like in Disneyland, or, go to the Little Mermaid area and see those icons around there. So,
yeah, I was going to say that's the nice thing about both of those resorts is you can just kind of walk over the bridge and see, all the stuff outside at both of those. So I have a lot of clients that will stay, at Pop, but they still want to see, they have Cars obsessed kids and they want to go see all the Cars lands and stuff. So,
and I feel like the Skyliner is a game changer.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
And another thing that I don't know that everyone is aware of in the lobbies now, or they did the last time I went, they have backdrops that'll have the resort's name and then they'll have different props so you can take pictures. And that's always something cute that I've noticed a lot of people are taking advantage of.
Yeah, they usually have like little hashtags there on the background too, where you can like share it on social media and stuff, which I saw was cute.
Yes, and they have different props, and since we do matching shirts every day, that would be our morning photo to take our picture every day.
Yeah, that's cute.
And that's just a little added bonus.
Yeah. The values have a lot of fun stuff too, like scavenger hunts around them.
Yes.
When you check in, they'll give you like a little scavenger hunt thing and you have to go, find the stuff around the resort. And my kids thought that was pretty cool when we stayed there.
And they have a lot of activities out by the pool. It seems like there's always something going on.
Yes. Dance parties.
Yes.
My kids, every time we stay, they have these little rubber duckies that are like themed to different things. So they've gotten ones from French Quarter that were like the little Mardi Gras jester ducks. And they've gotten mermaid ones from Art of Animation. And so they think that's cool when they play those pool games.
That's fun.
Okay. And April, you said you had another question for us.
So I just thought it'd be important to kind of point out the location differences between the ALLSTAR resorts versus Pop and Art of Animation. What do you think is an advantage or a disadvantage to the locations, Robin?
The ALLSTARs I know are closer to the Animal Kingdom area. And if you're going to be going to the ESPN Wild World of Sports, that is also, I've had clients that have had baseball tournaments there, and that's very convenient because it is so close.
I know that sometimes from Art of Animation and Pop Century, you can see the fireworks from Fantasmic, even sometimes a little bit from Epcot because of where it's located. And it is fairly close to both of those, especially Hollywood Studios. But then, like Robin said, having the All-Stars be closer to Animal Kingdom, you can get over there very quickly. When I stayed there the last time, it was great to pop right over there. So
okay, Robin, is there anything else you wanted to share with us in regards to the values? Because I know that they are your favorites.
I just want to add that they have an airline check-in that's open from 5 a.m. to noon. So you could go and actually check into the airport, get rid of your luggage, not have to worry about it, get your boarding pass, and then once you get to get on the Magical Express, get to the airport, and you don't have to mess with any of that. And that is so convenient.
And I know I've heard you. Go ahead.
Right by the lobby, so you're not going any further, and it's very nice. It's very handy.
And I have to ask you what your nickname is for the Magical Express when you're leaving.
Oh, it's the Tragical Express. It's the worst part of your day. The worst.
It is. But I had to ask that because I've heard you talk about that all the time. And so we've always asked our guests that come on with us what their favorite park is.
Oh, mine is Magic Kingdom by far. I tell all of my clients, if you see the castle and don't cry for the first time, something's wrong. I mean, that is
first time.
Every time?
I cry every time.
Well, every time. But I have most of my clients, it's their first trip. And so I try to, I want them to go to Magic Kingdom the first day and the last day, if it's possible, because I just think that's how you should start a trip. I realize not everybody can, but that's just, and they'll say, what's the main thing we need to do? I'm like, you need to stop and enjoy the castle, because the castle to me, that's Disney right there. That's something that you see on every Disney movie. The little boy that my daughter babysits, he came this weekend and we were fixing to watch Cars, and the castle comes up in the fireworks and he's like, castle, castle. I said, I didn't even have to brainwash him to say that. And so all of my clients, they're like, the castle is so much prettier than I expected, or it's so magical. And so to me, just the castle and walking down Main Street, you can't get better than that.
Walking down Main Street, that's our name. Okay, well, we do want to thank you ladies both for joining us tonight. We definitely had a lively discussion on our values. And, we'll be hoping to welcome you both again in the future if you'd like to come back.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, thank you, ladies, and have a great night.
Thank you for having us. I enjoyed it.
Be sure to tune in next week. We're going to talk about the role of a travel advisor. We'll talk to you about what we do for our clients and how we may be able to help you with your special vacation. Just a reminder to be sure to check out the Walking Down Main Street blog. Many of the agents from Coasters and Castles Travel write articles and share fun information. That can be found on walkingdownmainstreet.com or by searching Walking Down Main Street on Facebook. We would love to hear from you. If there is a topic you would like to have us talk about, please feel free to email us at info@travelcnc.com. That's TRAVELCNC.com. A quick note about our sponsor. Coasters and Castles Travel is a full-service travel agency that specializes in Disney destinations, Universal Studios, SeaWorld, ocean and river cruises, and all-inclusive resorts. The agency has been awarded the Authorized Disney Vacation Planner status and the You Preferred Partner program with Universal Studios. The agency was also honored with the President's Award with Travel Leaders in 2019. Minutes are precious, so until we meet again, enjoy them with your friends and family.